Someone just tried to belittle you in front of others. Their arrogance cuts through the room like a blade. You feel the urge to destroy them verbally. Don't. That's what they want, your reaction. Give it, and you've lost. Today, 5 phrases that disarm arrogance without raising your voice, not through aggression, but through self-mastery. The final phrase leaves arrogant people completely silent. Not because you attacked, because you refused to play their game. The Stoics understood arrogance is a fragile mask. Seneca wrote, "The desire to seem greater reveals that you are smaller." Anyone needing to prove superiority is confessing insecurity. Epictetus taught an insult only has power if you accept it. Someone else's arrogance only wounds when you allow it into your mind. Marcus Aurelius taught you can't control what others say, but you control your response. When you respond with wisdom instead of emotion, you dismantle the game without shouting. That's what we're building. 5 phrases forged in Stoic principles, neutralizing arrogance with precision. That's what we're building here. 5 phrases forged in Stoic principles, capable of neutralizing any arrogant person. Not with force, but with precision. Phrase 1. You're entitled to that perspective. This removes all resistance. Arrogance thrives on conflict. The arrogant person expects battle. When you say, "You're entitled to that perspective," you deflate the confrontation. You're not agreeing or validating, simply acknowledging their right to that view. Elegant, strategic ending provocation without playing their game. Epictetus said, "No one can harm your mind without your permission." This phrase is that principle in action. Picture a meeting where someone imposes ideas with contempt. Everyone expects you to fire back. Instead, you're entitled to that perspective. Silence follows. They lose their stage while you remained in control. Arrogant people don't expect disarmament with serenity. Before we continue, this is where most people quit. If you're still here, you're different. Subscribe to this channel, not for motivation, but for mental tools you can actually use. In a world of noise, we offer direction. In a world of distraction, we build discipline. Hit that subscribe button now. Let's continue. Phrase 2. That's worth considering. The arrogant person expects rejection. When you show interest, they lose their armor. You transform attack into reflection. No irony, just calm. That's worth considering places them offering value without confrontation victory. Seneca said, "Nothing is so arrogant, it cannot be softened by reason." You don't need to win, just lead. Someone belittles you publicly. Everyone expects aggression. Instead, that's worth considering. Atmosphere shifts instantly. Control belongs to the composed. Phrase 3. I'll need to reflect on that before responding. The arrogant person expects immediate reply, their comfort zone. When you delay response, arrogance dissolves. Marcus Aurelius taught power lies in choosing how we react. Saying you'll reflect shows control remains in your hands. Effective because it's surprising. You reveal self-confidence and wisdom, weapons arrogance cannot fight. Someone imposes opinion by raising voice. Instead, I'll need to reflect before responding. Silent blow showing you're not there to fight, but govern. They lose rhythm competing with someone not playing their game. You rise mastering not just conversation, but themselves. Phrase 4. Perception varies widely. Doesn't confront, accuse, or disrespect. States their view is one among many. The arrogant person believes their opinion is the only valid one. Perception varies widely, shatters that illusion. Epictetus taught it's not things that disturb us, but our interpretation. Family conversation where someone imposes view as law. Perception varies widely. Impact, immediate. Aggressive tone loses power with no way to argue back. You demonstrate maturity while they remain trapped in vanity. Phrase 5. If that serves you, then proceed. This is the final phrase that completely dismantles arrogance. The arrogant person wants to prove something, to win, to dominate. When you calmly respond, if that serves you, then proceed, you nullify any attempt at confrontation. There's no more fight because you refuse to participate in it. This response elegantly exposes their true fragility, their need for external validation. By implying they only speak or act that way to serve themselves, you pull back the curtain on their supposed superiority. It's like revealing that behind the loud voice is just a desperate plea for validation. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that nothing has power over us except what we give importance to. If you show their arrogance holds no importance for you, it simply loses value. This phrase is the living application of that principle. You don't step into the ring, and that's precisely why you win. Imagine a coworker trying to prove they're better than you at something. Instead of competing, you say calmly, "If that serves you, then proceed." The room freezes for a moment. Everyone realizes you weren't defeated. You simply rose above the dispute. This phrase is definitive because it closes the loop. While previous phrases dismantle arrogant posture, piece by piece, this one ends the game entirely. There's no possible response without exposing even more insecurity. The silence they're left with shows the true power of this attitude. These 5 phrases have something in common. None seek confrontation, all seek control. That's what Stoicism teaches. You don't defeat arrogance with shouts, but with serenity and clarity. Whoever controls themselves has already won before the discussion even begins. When you say, "You're entitled to that perspective," you show maturity. When you state, "That's worth considering," you surprise them with your calm. When you declare, "I'll need to reflect before responding," you command the scene with patience. When you say perception varies widely, you dismantle the myth of absolute truth. And with, "If that serves you, then proceed," you end the game revealing their arrogance never had power over you. These aren't just phrases. They're attitudes of someone who's learned not to be enslaved by others' pride. Imagine the impact of applying them in your life. More respect, more tranquility, more command over situations. That's the true strength of someone who lives at peace with themselves. But here's what most people miss entirely. These phrases only work when they come from a place of genuine indifference to the outcome. You can memorize the words perfectly, but if you say them while desperately hoping for validation, they're powerless. The power comes from not needing to win, from not needing them to see you as superior, from genuinely not caring whether they change their mind or not. That's the real work. Not learning phrases, but building the inner fortress that makes the phrases true. Start with one phrase this week. Notice how it feels to set a boundary calmly. Notice how people respond when you refuse to play their game. Notice the power that comes from controlled speech. Then add another and another, until these aren't memorized lines but natural expressions of who you've become. Someone who doesn't need to shout to be heard, someone who doesn't need to fight to be respected, someone who understands that true strength lives in restraint. At Silent Forge, we don't teach you to speak louder. We teach you to forge yourself into someone who commands respect without demanding it. Subscribe now and continue building mental tools for battles that matter. Not against others, against your own need for validation. Tell me in the comments, which phrase will you use first? Which situation in your life needs this kind of calm authority? I'll read every response, because this isn't about learning philosophy. It's about forging yourself into someone arrogance cannot touch. Stay strong. Stay silent when silence serves you. and speak with precision when words are required. That's how you win without fighting. At Silent Forge, we don't teach you to speak louder. We teach you to forge yourself into someone who commands respect without demanding it. Subscribe now and continue building mental tools for the battles that matter. Not against others, against your own need for validation. Tell me in the comments, which phrase will you use first? Which situation in your life needs this kind of calm authority? I'll read every response. Because this isn't about learning philosophy. It's about forging yourself into someone arrogance cannot touch. Stay strong. Stay silent when silence serves you. And speak with precision when words are required. That's how you win without fighting.